Math is all about patterns. And once kids see those patterns, they can use them as powerful strategies to add and subtract. Today, we're going to look at the patterns behind the very first types of math facts your kindergartner needs to know. I'm Laurie Fouts. I've been in education for over 30 years in the state of Texas, and for the last 7, I focused on math intervention. My mission? Helping kids build the strategies they need to feel confident and capable in math. Today, we're digging into patterns behind the math facts every kindergartner should know before first grade. Here's the truth. Too many students move into higher level math still relying only on their fingers or tally marks. And that's a problem because when they don't internalize these early patterns, bigger problems down the road become much harder. Back in kindergarten, we explored shape and color patterns like these: red, blue, or this shape pattern: triangle, triangle, square, triangle, triangle, square. These weren't just fun activities. They were building blocks for recognizing number patterns, and those number patterns turn into strategies. These strategies aren't learned in a single day. They take repeated exposure and lots of modeling. But once students see them, they start to internalize them, and that's when math starts to click. Now, let's dive deeper into those types of key facts. Let's talk about adding and subtracting 0. 0 is a number. It's just a number that means nothing. And kids need to see over and over that adding 0 or subtracting 0 doesn't change the number. Look at this problem here. If I have 4 blueberries in my bowl and I don't eat the blueberries, how many blueberries do I have? I still have 4 because we didn't take any away. 4 minus 0 is the same or equal to 4. Now, what if I had 4 blueberries and I didn't put any more in the bowl? Well, that's 4 plus no more, or 0. It's still the same as 4. Tools like a 10 frame can help because they help organize objects into groups of 5, just like our fingers. Now, let's talk about subtracting a number from itself. This is a powerful concept. As adults, it seems simple, but for a child, it needs to be explored repeatedly. So let's do a different kind of model here. I'm still going to use my 10 frame. Here I have 5 cherries. I must really be hungry for some fruit right now. I have 5 cherries in a bowl, and I eat all 5 cherries. How many cherries do I have left? 0. You can see that because I took all 5 and ate all of them. So what do I have left? 0. Show that when you take a number away from itself, you're left with nothing. And there's that 0 again. It's a simple idea, but it needs lots of practice. Now, let's talk about adding and subtracting 1. When you add 1 to a number, a powerful tool to use is something called a number path. It can be printed like this one, or you can even draw it on paper if you're at home with your child. On this tool, your student can see how adding 1 moves you to the next number in the counting sequence. Let's have some fun with the dice here. Oh, I rolled 1. Let's make a story. I have 1 piece of candy. And then my mom gave me 1 more piece of candy. Well, how many does that give me? 2. Hey, look at that. You went to that very next number after 1. Let's try another one. Oh my goodness. Now I have how many pieces of candy? 6 pieces of candy. So I'll put my 6 cubes on top of my number path. And then my mom gave me 1 more. How many pieces of candy do I have? I have 7. Hey, 7 comes next in the counting sequence. What about subtracting 1? Well, here we go. We have 7 pieces of candy. When you take 1 away, where do you go? You go back to the number before. Just like in that story, 7 pieces of candy. Eating 1, because mom only wants you to have 1 that night, leaves you with 6 more left to fill out the rest of your week. The important thing to remember is to model story situations over time in both ways, adding 1 and subtracting 1. Okay, let's now talk about adding and subtracting numbers within 5. That means kids need to know all of their addition facts with sums no greater than 5, and they need to know their subtraction facts with a total no greater than 5. This pattern is so important. It is a strategy that is key in kindergarten. What's the pattern? If I know the parts that create a total, I can determine the missing part in a separating or subtraction problem. Let's take a look at what that means. Let's start with a story about some spiders. I got these at my local dollar store. There were 4 spiders sitting on a web. Then 2 of those spiders decided to go away. How many spiders are left? The problem is 4 minus 2 equals something. Now, if I remove 2, I can easily see that it is 2. But have you ever thought about relating it to an addition fact that you know? What part do we have here? We have 2, and the 2 that I took off, if we add them back together, that equals 4. I know that 4 minus 2 equals 2 spiders because 2 spiders and 2 more spiders equals 4 spiders. Kindergarten students may work with numbers up to 10, but fluency should be within 5. You can also use tools like number bonds to show the relationship between joining and separating. Let's take a minute here to explore how to use a number bond, and you can draw one of these on a piece of paper. For example, if I have 5 apples and I eat 2, I must have 3 left over because 2 plus 3 equals 5. Too often, we just teach kids to count back on their fingers. 5 minus 2 equals 3. But as students get older and the numbers get larger, this is not an efficient strategy. But if we model our thinking out loud, kids start connecting addition and subtraction as related facts. So, what are the takeaways today? Math is built on patterns. When we give kids repeated exposure and time to explore, they start to recognize those patterns and use them with confidence. Because if a kindergartner learns that 2 plus 3 equals 5, by the time they're in 2nd grade, they'll be able to relate it to 20 plus 30 equals 50, and that's powerful. We're not just teaching math facts, we're building problem solvers. If this video was helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with another teacher or parent who wants to make math click for kids.